It was a cold Friday evening when Lily, a single mother of two, found herself pacing nervously in her small, warmly lit apartment. The aroma of vanilla candles filled the room, and she kept checking the mirror, adjusting her hair and smoothing her dress. It had been 5 long years since she'd allowed herself the possibility of romance. Her life revolved around her children, Ella, 7, and Max, 4, and everything else came second. But tonight, something was different. Tonight, she had a blind date. Her best friend, Mandy, had set it up. He's a good guy, Lily. Kind, respectful, a little reserved, but I think you two could really connect. That's all she knew. No photos, just a name, Daniel. As the clock ticked closer to 7 p.m., she felt the old fears creep in. What if he didn't like her? What if they had nothing in common? What if this was a mistake? Then came the knock. Heart pounding, she took a deep breath and opened the door. Standing there was a tall man, dressed in a navy coat, his hair slightly tousled from the wind. His smile was gentle, almost shy. "Hi, Lily," he asked softly. She nodded, returning the smile. "Hi, Daniel." But before she could invite him in or make a joke about first date jitters, he leaned in slightly and whispered something that made her freeze. "My kids are in the car." Lily blinked, unsure if she heard him right. He cleared his throat. "I hope it's okay. They're just waiting outside. I wasn't sure how this would go, but they didn't want to be alone tonight." It wasn't the typical thing someone would say on a blind date. And for a moment, Lily's mind raced with confusion. Was this a joke? Was he testing her? But then she looked into his eyes. There was no mischief, no manipulation, just vulnerability. A kind of raw honesty that pierced through the awkwardness. "Do you want to bring them in?" she asked gently. Daniel hesitated. "Are you sure? I know this is unorthodox. But ever since their mom died, they've had a hard time. I told them I was meeting someone, and they didn't want me to go alone." That was all Lily needed to hear. She stepped aside and nodded. "Let's meet them." Daniel turned, walked to his car parked at the curb, and opened the back door. 2 small figures stepped out, a boy, around 6, and a girl, maybe 8. Both clung to each other, unsure and shy, but their eyes lit up as they walked toward the warm light of Lily's apartment. Lily knelt down and smiled. "Hi there, I'm Lily. Would you like some hot cocoa?" The little girl nodded, and the boy managed a tiny smile. And just like that, something shifted. What was supposed to be an awkward first date over coffee turned into an evening filled with laughter, stories, and a slow unraveling of 2 complicated lives. The kids played with Lily's children, bonding over crayons and board games. The apartment filled with giggles and toy trains running across the floor. It was chaos, but it was beautiful. Lily learned that Daniel had been a widower for 2 years. His wife, Claire, passed away from a sudden illness, and ever since, he had been trying to navigate parenthood alone. The loneliness, the guilt, the constant pressure, it all weighed heavily on him. He admitted he hadn't dated anyone seriously since her passing. "I never thought I'd be here again," he said quietly, watching the children play. "But my daughter told me, Daddy, you deserve to smile again. So, here I am." Lily felt her heart ache. She understood. Not the loss of a spouse, but the burden of being everything for your kids, the fear of letting someone in, the guilt of wanting something more than just survival. As the night went on, the barriers between them dissolved. They weren't strangers anymore, they were 2 people who had known heartbreak, who had sacrificed, who had found strength in raising children alone. And somehow, that made them feel like home to each other. When it was time to leave, the children didn't want to go. "Can we come back?" Daniel's daughter asked, looking at Lily with hopeful eyes. "Of course," Lily said, her voice catching in her throat. After they left, Lily stood by the door, her fingers grazing the wood where Daniel had stood. The warmth lingered in the air. Her kids were already asleep, but the memory of the night played over and over in her mind. In the days that followed, Daniel kept in touch. Their next few meetings weren't about fancy dinners or romantic outings. They were trips to the zoo with the kids, movie nights on Lily's couch, messy dinners of spaghetti and meatballs, and long conversations after the children were tucked into bed. Love didn't come in fireworks. It came in whispers, in shared moments of exhaustion, in understanding glances, in bandaging scraped knees together, and in hearing your children laugh side by side. One night, months later, Daniel sat beside Lily on the back porch, watching the kids chase fireflies in the yard. "I never imagined love would look like this," he said. Lily smiled. "Me neither. But I wouldn't change it for anything." He turned to her. eyes filled with something deeper than affection, gratitude, trust, and the first signs of healing. "Lily, thank you for opening the door that night. You didn't just let us in, you gave us a second chance." She took his hand and squeezed it gently. "We both needed one." And in that quiet moment, with the stars blinking above and the sound of children's laughter echoing in the night, Lily knew that this unexpected twist of fate wasn't just a love story, it was the start of a new family. A family not built from perfection, but from resilience, love, and the courage to open the door when life gives you one more chance. Sometimes, the best things in life come when you least expect them. And sometimes, a blind date is more than just a meeting, it's the beginning of healing, of hope, and of something truly beautiful. That night didn't just change Lily's life, it rewrote the story of 4 broken hearts that had been waiting for a reason to believe again. And all it took was one knock on the door.